Mr. Anwar, I'll ask you firstly, the world is watching Malaysia. Describe the performance of the government with the disappearance of MH370.
Well, initially, the entire population were very supportive of all the measures taken, prayers for the crew and passengers, and support for the government initiative. But after a few days of flip-flop and refusal to release critical information, people are becoming more cynical. You know, the media is here completely controlled by the government. Even then, a random survey indicates at least 50% of Malaysians do not support or believe or consider the government not that credible.
Do you believe the government is concealing information?
Cargo manifest has not been released. The position of passports and many others. So initially we said it is a question of incompetence, but now it has gone to inaptitude, and I have specifically alleged that the government has concealed critical information.
Mr. Anwar, did you ask for the cargo manifest?
Yes, I did. The issues raised, like the radar, the cargo manifest, the passport, were raised in Parliament addressed to the Prime Minister, the Minister of Transport, the Minister of Home Affairs, because these are key ministries in charge. There was no response except to say, don't politicize the issue, don't exploit it for political gain. We're doing our level best. The international community is giving us all the support and giving us all the accolades.
Were you told that the cargo manifest has been deleted?
Yes, I could not verify that. The only reasonable action I could take was to raise the specific question and demand the cargo manifest to be shared.
Who told you it had been deleted?
Well, we have friends and sources who are concerned, even within the mass establishment, who thought that the government would help the country immensely and the operations if this critical information is released.
So to be clear, someone inside Malaysia Airlines told you that they believed the cargo manifest had been deleted?
Yes.
Who deleted it?
Well, it must be people in the authorities. I mean, not possible for anyone else outside. But even if it is so, deleted or not, the government must come in a transparent manner. You can't expect the international community to have these huge search and rescue operations to find out debris. Then we have to know what the cargo is on the flight.
Your contacts inside Malaysia Airlines, did they actually see the cargo manifest?
I wouldn't know that, but since I've had numerous discussions with very senior pilots, people close to Captain Zahari, colleagues of his, and then senior members of the crew, engineering department. I mean, people who come and volunteered some information to us in strictest confidence. You know how the system is like here. They would be dismissed summarily if they are known to be in any way associated with the opposition. But that source of information, to my mind, is very useful, very critical.
So people are very fearful of telling the truth?
Yes, because they've been warned, and they have seen how numerous actions have been taken against many in the government service for releasing information. You have a major who reported to the police over fraud in the electoral process is now being charged in court.
Why conceal so much information? Who is this protecting?
This is to me a very, very critical question. That is, as if we ask the government specifically, why is it a piece of information so critical to understand and unravel the entire episode from the beginning, from point zero, but not shared? to the rest, to the experts or the international community. Now, there has not been any explanation or an attempt to assuage our concerns, except to say that we are now just politicizing it.
Is the government protecting itself?
The only plausible reason I could give is that either they want to not necessarily protect, but conceal the evidence in order to deflect from or fearful of this information causing further embarrassment. I don't understand, but it is, to my mind, not acceptable, because you're talking about lives here. You're talking about national security. The issue of which have been severely criticized or attacked by the government media over the issue of the radar, to my mind, is not only the information, but it's a matter of national security. They attempted to explain by saying, well, it is a commercial flight, so it's not of any concern. I told them 9/11 are all commercial planes. And secondly, there's standard operating procedure. 3 minutes after that, the Air Force jets must come up, assuming our Air Force is that efficient too.
How well did you know Captain Zahari?
Reasonably well. Is more as a strong supporter of the party. He is, of course, a very senior pilot, so he is known, active in the constituency near here, our headquarters. I've met him a number of times. I remember, having discussions with him during party meetings. He's also related to my daughter-in-law, which actually I learned much later. My daughter-in-law then volunteered information here, an extended family. But my daughter-in-law's family, of course, know him well.
Captain Zahari attended political meetings of yours. So what are his political beliefs?
He shares the concern of our multiracial, multireligious party for reform in the country, for free elections, for the rule of law, a free media, for democratic process.
Captain Zahari, though, has been described as a political activist and also a fanatic.
I don't believe there's a fair description, because he reasons, reasonably well, and he articulates some of the concerns on free, fair elections quite well. He believes in a democratic process through elections.
Does that make him a fanatic?
Doesn't sound like a fanatic to me. And I've seen him, and he's very relaxed. Frankly, quite articulate. I was naturally attracted to his concern in some of these issues. But it takes any reasonable person, a citizen in this country, to support the democratic process, to oppose endemic corruption, and the semi-authoritarian rule and opaque system in Malaysia.
Did authorities know that MH370 was missing early in the morning of the 9th of March?
Yes. Apparently the Prime Minister was told in the morning. It's odd, because the Prime Minister's wife claimed that she informed the Prime Minister.
What time?
Which is odd. Here, in a major national security issue, either the Inspector General of Police or DCHE must contact, or the Minister must contact the Prime Minister directly. They were told in the morning, in the early hours of the morning, 6 probably, but that means 4 or 5 hours after the incident.
We understand that the aircraft was blipping on military radar for up to 40 minutes. And no one responded in the military.
Yeah. Now, firstly, there is, of course, the reliction of duty here. But the radar was able to capture the entire movement, turning back into the Malaysian territory. The most critical question is, why was this piece of information not released till now? Yeah, I mean, it's a major scandal here, because this is, of course, amounting to a major threat to national security. If you have that, for 40 minutes, planes can come in, and no one could even alerted at that time. So I think, to me, why the government is playing down, because they thought too many agencies, authorities would have to be questioned or hauled up for questioning or for investigations.
Well, there's confusion, though, still, over a month later, whether the military actually saw this in real time or whether they only realised when they went back through their records. So which one is it?
As the what do you call it, problem unraveled, we realized that the Air Force personnel monitoring the radar were not alert at that particular point in time. But when they were alerted, even after 40 minutes, or even 1 hour, the entire reading was there. And why is it still concealed for days and weeks and now months? I mean, that is has never been explained.
We're talking about an unidentified large aircraft travelling through Malaysian airspace. What should the military have done that night?
From my understanding of the SOP, the moment they are alerted, detected that there is a movement plane not according to the schedule, whether it's commercial or whatever, unfriendly, they're called unauthorized movements, then in 3 minutes, the Air Force will be alerted and will have to then be flown to that area to either, normally to guide the plane to land or to leave the Malaysian airspace. That's standard operating procedure, and this was never done.
Did the military talk to anyone in these crucial hours?
We were told, the Air Force chief came out with some explanation. Initially, yes, we saw. Then, no, we are not too sure what flight it was. Then, yes, it was a commercial flight. Then, after 3 times making such statement, the PC, he was told just to shut up and not to say anything more. So then the minister took over. But I think clearly from the first 3 statements he made, there are a lot of contradictions and a lot quite vague. Nobody can actually understand. If you had seen a plane turning back, how is it that you did not monitor it?
No distress calls, no mayday calls, nothing that would support the presumption that this was a mechanical turnaround.
Yes. They tried to explain, justify by saying, well, this is a friendly commercial flight.
How did they know that?
Yeah, firstly, how did they know that? Secondly, it is still unauthorized. Once it's unauthorized, whether it's friendly or otherwise, action must be taken. The Air Force must be alerted. Jets must fly. I mean, this is standard in any country that I know of.
Okay, how acceptable is it then for an unidentified aircraft to just travel through Malaysian airspace and nothing to be done?
It's a major security threat. Can you imagine if one flight comes right to our towers? I mean, I cannot understand why the government take this, something lightly, but they fail to understand and appreciate a major concern of the country, of all Malaysians, that you can have this flight. And interesting enough, it crosses the entire